I've not used this before, so I'm just trying it out.
Hey man, it's been too long since we sat down and that just feels wrong. Allow me to give my head a shake, open my eyes and fix a mistake. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit a rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Hey buddy, no strangers here. These times I hold them dear. My door's open, so come on in. This was great, let's do it again. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly.
Woo! Thwip, thwip, and flame on! Because it's a double whammy today with Adam from Gofigure. He's not only going to give us the Fantastic Four Series 2, but we're also going to get a bonus Spider-Man Series 2 for our troubles, which is great. I gotta say, first of all, I need to, last show, I said Havoc was a part of X-Force. I was confused because we were talking about X-Men and X-Force. I actually meant X-Factor. Thank you to those in the chat that corrected me. I know. Idiot. And I found a photo of that, sent it to you earlier. I was like, check this loser out. I found a photo of that Commando guy.
Yeah.
The robot man from last show. As promised, I said I'd try and find... Oh dear. My lounge room doesn't want it to work. Anyway,
on, I got you.
You've got it.
I'll do it without pointing a phone at a screen.
That's how we do it here at the clubhouse. It's all point at the screen stuff. So I want to say there's actually for me personally, there's a tonal shift between how I felt originally about these Marvel toys when they were coming out in Toybiz and how I felt about them collecting them at this point when these ones were coming out.
Right.
And that tonal obviously we were aged up a little, but it was actually more less of a hey, here's a great toy, I want to collect these toys, and more of a this is the best toy lines and the most Marvel stuff we've had for so long. And as a teenager heading towards adult responsibilities, it was the excitement of seeing things that I think I would have really loved as a younger kid, but still enjoyed as a teenager and onwards. And here's Commando, who I'm sure Nate's 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for that. And Commando was like I hated these kind of characters in a world of superheroes. Right, I like my superheroes to look like superheroes and act like superheroes, and then seeing a robot bounty hunter, like he looks like if I was like, this is a Star Wars bounty hunter, you'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, like that.
Would work. He looks like a chicken walker and Deadpool hung out one night. Let's out of the chat real quick. We got Johnny Sorensen. Don't need no more. The thing about that is what, Johnny? What? James, let's go. Stuck at the airport on his way to Vegas.
Ooh.
Retro Tinker, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. He says it's been too long since they've heard that intro. I feel ya. Same time, toys. On my way to work. Have a great show, guys. Well, we can call in sick for you if you don't want to go to work. That is a service that we provide.
Yeah. You know what we should do? We should record a... I'm not coming to work today. 3 options. I'm sick. Yeah. I quit. Or just very vague. I won't be there. And we'll play them at the beginning of the next episode. and then
Yeah.
people, if they want to, can record it and can use it. We will call in sick for you.
Rock you.
Yeah, we'll provide that service for you.
Speaking of legends, Phil's here. It takes one to know one, buddy. It takes one to know one. Exactly. And yeah, I saw it. I saw what you said. All right, this is a kid friendly zone. I don't know, maybe.
We're talking about toys for crying out loud. But
Yeah, for Pete's sake.
That's what you're saying. So I moved. So we're in like 1995 right now. That's kind of the era that we're in.
Right.
So I was in grade 9, or for you guys, year 9 in school.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to high school for the first time. We actually moved end of this year. So it was that this is where I gave all my toys to the neighbor kids.
Right.
It was like
Yes.
a 6-month period where I was like, nah, I'm too old for this stuff. Then 6 months later, I was like, what have I done? I've been chasing it ever since. But this was also right. So these lines were out right when Power of the Force 2 hit, the new Star Wars figure.
Yeah. Right.
And so it really was, I think, for a lot of us, where exactly what you said, we went from playing with toys to like a toy collector, right? That was the term we used.
We stopped calling them toys and started calling them action figures and collectibles.
Right. And I think you and I, and stop me if I'm speaking for us, we've gone full circle. I'm just like, it's their toys.
Yeah, they're toys. It's a fun toy is my favorite thing to say. Can I ask you a question about this this line, the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, and I know we're going to come to some other lines down the track, but I remember this series of toys, series 2, and to some extent series 1. Series 1 I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Okay, what's happening here? And by series 2 I was like, I'm collecting now, right? Mm-hmm. I started to feel more excited for these lines than I did for the X-Men. The X-Men were starting to lose me, and these action figures were starting to bring me back in.
Well, and I think these, I want to be very careful how I say this because I want to be correct. These toys felt more compatible with the X-Men that I played with as a kid, than the ones that were coming out while these were coming out. Yeah.
So series 2 specifically were really, really good with this line of toys. Yeah. Series 1, I think, is in its own little perfect bubble. Yeah. But Series 2 of the X-Men, I think, have the same aesthetic as the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and other waves that we haven't touched on yet.
Yeah. And so I often go back and forth with what wave I like better. 1 of X-Men or 2 and 3, where they did more of the cartoon show, right? Because that first wave wasn't based on the cartoon; it was just the comic book figures. Yeah, and they are exactly compatible with superpowers. Like they're that kind of aesthetic, and they're perfect. But then you get like Tiger Stripe Wolverine and Gambit and Rogue and you're like and like the big beast and stuff, and you're like, is this what's better? But going through this particular wave 2 of Spider-Man and wave 2 of Fantastic Four, I was like, oh, they're really hitting a sweet spot here. Also, we'd never had Marvel cartoons like we had in this era. Like we were so lucky for that like 8-year span almost, from 93 when X-Men started through the Spider-Man and the Hulk and Fantastic Four and Ghost Rider and then Silver Surfer and then even like Spider-Man, Future Spider-Man we got, like that all that stuff was so good. And to see on the packaging the cartoon versions of them, I was like, this is pretty great.
I think that out of all the cartoons, the Fantastic Four was probably the weaker one. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the animation on it wasn't quite as polished as X-Men and not quite as polished as Spider-Man. Yep. I think Hulk is marginally better than the Fantastic Four in animation quality. I still enjoyed it, but I do think the cartoon suffered a little bit from being a little bit rubbery in their animation. Now, the cartoons that we got, I felt were cartoons for us, our age group, maybe a bit younger, but I definitely felt like an attachment to them. And we had cartoons of Spider-Man, we had cartoons of Captain America, Hulk, and all those before, but they never felt like my cartoons.
No.
They felt like cartoons from the past, and these felt like they were made for our generation or close to. Close enough.
For our generation or any generation of the age that we were at.
Yeah, well, no, you know what I mean, like, because we're probably not in X-Men and Batman. Definitely were skewed to our age, but Spider-Man teetered.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four definitely skewed younger, so it was sort of a little bit all over the place. But for the most part, I felt like we were in lucky days. Hey, Lilith, how you doing? Hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Sending all the prayers.
Oh yes, well I'm sending, what was it? Not thoughts and prayers. I'm sending witchcraft and I don't know, whatever the opposite of thoughts and witchcraft and clairvoyance. I'm sending something else. I just feel like because I'm not. You know what? Let's move on. So. Anyway, let's not turn it into a thing.
Yeah.
Taylor Retro Hunters, how are you? We're doing well. I don't know. We're trying to get a show together.
Well, we say how we doing. I'm never doing better than when I'm talking Toybiz with my boy Zazel.
Cheers, buddy. Same.
Now, just a brief history. If this is your first show, if this is the first time you're watching the show, we're talking about Toybiz, and we've gone through. You can go back the entire history of Toybiz action figures from day one till now. And so Toybiz actually as a company started in Montreal, Quebec, Canada as Sharon Toys. And Sharon Toys had a division of international sales called Toybiz. So when they got the Batman license to do action figures, if you bought one in the world, it was a Toybiz toy. If you bought one in Canada, it was a Sharon toy. And that's why you can see there are two different packaging options, one that has English and is Toybiz, one that has English and French, which is a Sharon toy. And Sharon is Karen, as they once said.
I resisted saying that. Every time that you say it, I'm tempted to say it.
Yeah. You made the best joke when I was doing my Clash of the Titans video and I mentioned Sharon, the boatman. And you said, over here we call him Toybiz.
Yeah, I was hoping you would get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. And then so we got the Batman line, and then a couple waves of DC, and then a couple waves of Marvel superheroes that were very much like the DC heroes. And then we got X-Men Wave 1, which was kind of a game changer. And when that came out, they were still doing waves of the Marvel superheroes. We got Talking Heroes. Then we got X-Men. Then we got X-Force. And all these were on the shelves at the same time. And we thought, well, it could never get better. But then when X-Men turned over and had new cards, that was a little less great. We got the what I call the Fantastic Four era. So we got a bunch of cartoons released. There was a Spider-Man cartoon, there was a Fantastic Four cartoon, and they were all and there was an Iron Man cartoon. There was this Marvel Action Hour, they called it. And Stan Lee, it felt really like something like a happening. Stan Lee would do intros. He's like, "Hello, true believers. In today's episode, we're gonna do a thing, try and go on a date." And he would do it. It just felt like I couldn't, had to be there. And finally, like all the things that we love from comic books were being broadcast to our home by the people that put them in the comic books. And so we are going to deep dive into these. So we've done Fantastic Four Wave 1, we've done Spider-Man Wave 1, we've done Iron Man Wave 1. And so we're going to dive in here to Fantastic Four Wave 2 and Spider-Man Wave 2. Just because we want to get enough content for a whole show, because the waves got smaller than when they were first coming out. And I think we see that trend now where a wave will have 4 figures in it, and 2 of them will be figures you want, and they put a build in there, as opposed to just getting toys into kids' hands. So we're going to get these toys into your hands today with Fantastic Four Wave 2, and we're going to start here.
Nice.
Spider-Man's
Look at that.
And then we're going to start here. Here's the packaging. and you can see it has
Look at that
Marvel.
epic Spider-Man. Look how cool. That's an A plus 10 out of 10 Spidey.
So I want to say something. I want to address this elephant in the room.
Sure.
So Zazel, that's his favorite Spider-Man of all time. He has fond memories of buying it, hanging it from his ceiling, and he just, like, was all about it. And we've made fun of him relentlessly because it's a terrible toy. But this is the thing about a kid's imagination and a toy as opposed to a collectible that we complain about and say, I wish I had different articulation and I wish the face sculpt was better and I'm going to do a custom head and I'm going to take acetone and do a paint. So when we were kids, we just wanted a toy of the thing that we loved. And when we got it, we didn't complain. I've heard, like, you look back and they say, oh yeah, if Rambo had articulated elbows, it would have been better. We never cared about that. We never cared about He-Man's articulation as a kid. We just wanted to play with the toys. So as much as I laugh at this Spider-Man toy, I never had it. I never had this Spider-Man figure because I had the suction cup Spider-Man hands. I love how much you love this thing, man. Like, I love it. And
it's so good. I think another thing that drawed me to it was that there were some Spider-Man figures where the webs coming down the face were too spaced apart, and this one I felt had the best gaps between each web. Now I know that's a pretty minor gripe, but I think we'll see as we go through Spider-Man and in future waves, you'll see what I mean, where the face just has too much of a wideness in the between the webs.
Do you want to know a fun fact?
Yes, I do.
And I think this just speaks to Toybiz. How many just Spider-Man the Animated Series Toybiz figures do you think there was?
In total? All the figures?
All the Spider-Man figures of just that Spider-Man animated line. How many figures do you think there was?
Not just Spider-Man, but all of them.
No, not of Spider-Man character, but all the people under the Spider-Man brand.
40?
40? That's a great guess. I have the number written down here, but I was going to double check it here.
Sure.
You are way under guessing here. Like, way.
Really? Okay. I thought I overguessed.
No.
I went more than I was going to say. I was like, got to be maybe more than that. And I just gave you a solid 4. What are we looking at?
We are looking at, hold on one second here. Let me get the number up. So I want to quote it properly without the chat being like, you're wrong. Because I don't like being wrong.
Sure. I've never known you to be wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong. I thought I was wrong one time, but I was just mistaken.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you had all this information ready to go. We're not waiting on you. But Lilith is saying that the read they would take Fantastic Four's Mr. Fantastic over Spider-Man, and I will say this, that both of them have arms that are a little bit useless, but at least Mr. Fantastic's does a stretch ability. I'll give you that.
So my number was correct. Just double checking. Spider-Man, the animated series Toybiz figures, there was 297 figures came out on that card.
No way! I was way off.
What a wild time to be a Marvel action figure fan, right? It just seemed like every time we went to the store, there was more figures that we didn't see, we didn't know were coming out. They were just putting out so much stuff. Like 297 Spider-Man the Animated Series figures. That's so crazy to think about.
That is crazy. And you know what? At least we've got some Toybiz ahead of us.
Yeah, but like when you think about big toy lines, vintage toy lines, you'd say like vintage Star Wars is kind of the measuring stick. There was 92 vintage Star Wars figures.
Yeah,
There's 297 Spider-Man the Animated Series action figures. Like, it's bananas. It's bananas. But we got some way to go. But let's take a look here at Fantastic Four Wave 2 and Spider-Man Wave 2. So we're going to start with Fantastic Four Wave 2, and we're going to look at this guy. We're going to start here. Now, the cool thing about the Fantastic Four cartoon was that the villains and the mythos of that wasn't in popular culture anywhere except the comics, right? Like Spider-Man villains were out there, and kind of like there were some villains in the world that were out there already, but nobody knew these. So when we got things like Blastar here, unbelievable that this was on a peg in my mind.
As a comic book reader and collector, these cartoons and action figure lines really did. They were pleasant surprises. Some of the characters that they came out with, and some of them were obscure, and some of them were like, everyone's someone's favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think in this case, the Fantastic Four did a tremendous job. I don't know if I'll hold off saying which one was one of my favorites of the entire Fantastic Four line, because I'm not sure if they're in this series, but I will say that there are characters here that are I feel like they are the epitome of those characters at the time, and they're represented very well in action figure form. Yeah. I don't think that there's going to be one in this collection that is not faithful to the comic or the cartoon.
Well, and again, the cartoon was very faithful to the comic as well. There was one figure in this whole, both lines we're looking at today, where I was like, ooh, that's something different. Not bad, but something different.
Okay.
But this guy looks like he jumped right off the page of a Jack Kirby drawing.
Yep. They nailed it, I reckon.
Yeah. His play feature was he had those fireballs on those big long sticks. Then you put them up his arms, and then you put his arms up and shoot his fireballs out of his hands. I thought that was executed excellently, and it was hidden enough that you didn't, without the fireballs there, it didn't ruin just the basic figure.
Yeah, and I prefer that over what Green Goblin had in the Marvel line, where you just sort of balanced it there and flung it.
Yep.
I never found that to be a very satisfying action feature, and I think that this is a better way to do it personally.
So the Lilith race is a great point. That Fantastic Four intro was awesome. The theme song when it started felt super weird, like it was his own thing. That bum bum bum.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what is this? And it's just like it's its own thing. But yeah, and
I really dig the new movies Fantastic Four theme.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty epic.
Yeah,
shout out in the comments if you've seen the new Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, if you haven't, you're gonna love the ending when Blastar shows up and kills Reed.
Yeah, it's incredible. Who would have seen that coming?
Yeah,
and faithfully, and faithfully had spring-loaded fireballs coming out of his hand. It was so great.
Fantastic fireballs.
Yeah, and okay, I will say this, Nate. This card back is great, and while we have nitpicked the Wolverine cards, less so on the cable cards. I think the cable card was executed better, but I don't mind a blanket card so long as the card is well done. And I think the Fantastic Four's card is well done. I prefer the original Marvel and X-Men where they had individual characters on there, but this is miles ahead of what the X-Men are doing, because it's not only faithfully showing the cartoon of the Fantastic Four on the card art, which is what it's advertising, and all toys were advertising something in those days anyhow. So I like this more than Wolverine art, because what was that advertising? Wolverine on the card. It's just like outrageous. Anyway, rant over.
And rant over. But yeah, so this figure I think is a great villain to have. He looks just like the Kirby art when he was first drawn. Play features great, doesn't hinder the character at all. This to me is a solid 10, like a 10.
10 out of 10.
Right, we're
It
going.
looks great on that card with the colors too.
Oh yeah, and again, the space background for the card was like a level of printing on a card we hadn't seen yet. Before that, we'd seen very basic colors on cards. Even G.I. Joe would probably be the one that had the most colors, but this is just it looked, and with the card being like hollow foil around the 4, it felt like
it's
a
great.
premium toy. Okay,
Definitely.
Listen, Nate.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
so
everything's a 10, then nothing's a 10.
everything's a 10. Moving on from Blastar, as we get Dragon Man.
Oh yes.
Now, this is a bold figure. He definitely is large, and this is one of those like large figures. You get your money's worth for sure, just in the plastic. Now, remember, this was right as Disney was releasing Gargoyles.
Yeah, true.
Right, so this very, very much feels like a Gargoyles toy. Like that feels like that could be in that line as well.
Definitely.
But he's got fire-breathing action. He's got a fireball that he can shoot out of his mouth. He's a big baddie that the figures can fight with, like the heroes can fight with. This figure doesn't really like. I don't think I would have picked it off the shelf as a kid. It doesn't like attract me. But I have no flaws with it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I used it for the thumbnail. I didn't own it, but I definitely appreciate it. So I'm at a point in my collecting at this stage, at that age, where I've got to divide my funds into things like going to the movies, hanging out with friends, and not everything. So you've got to pick and choose which action figures are going to go into a collection. And while I didn't pick this guy up, I think he's great. I think he would be what would be considered today as a what do they call them? Like a bigger figure,
like a deluxe
premium
figure.
priced, right? So he'd be premium priced today, even though right here in this line he is a bigger figure like Guido was, but at the same price point. Ronnie's here. Yeah, it's getting out of control, mate.
No, it's just
but I think
deluxe or premier. It's a premier sized beard.
That's exactly what it is. But I think that this figure is fantastic. Oh, see what I did there.
Oh, you see something?
And it's an absolute 10 out of 10 for me. And I think they executed the Dragon Man was an android, right? A robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did him great. And I put him on the thumbnail because I thought that he was, even though I didn't own it, I thought that he was a pretty good representation of the character.
Yeah. And I think that since Superpowers came out when I was a kid, and I had the Dark Side figure, excuse me, the Dark Side figure, I always liked the idea of like regular sized heroes fighting a giant villain.
Yes.
Right? Like
but you also have to have someone worthy of the thing smashing, right? When it's clobbering time, it's got to clobber something.
Well, Superman had to have somebody to punch, right? And so the idea of like a bigger baddie, this does that. And it's not the only figure in this wave that's going to do that.
Okay, all right.
And so just get prepared. So again, I have nothing negative to say. 10 out of 10.
Yep.
And I would say in 1995, he's also an extra gargoyle figure if you have gargoyle toys going on.
True.
Then we move on here, and we've got Fire Lord, and he's got the fire staff. So it's two missiles. It's quite ingenious. It's two missiles that go together with a sleeve in the middle, making a staff that shoots two projectiles. So that's a fun thing. I think it's a fun way to do that. And then you get your basic figure. I think the sculpting on this basic figure, the flamey hair, the face sculpt, everything is perfect. Maybe my favorite from the line. Maybe like this to me would have been a quick and easy. Yep, gotta have them figure.
So the first time I was introduced to Fire was actually in a Spiderman comic. I can't remember why they tussled, but I always thought that he was a pretty interesting character. So can he hold that projectile weapon like his traditional double-sided blade, like flame thing, or?
I believe he can hold on to the individual missiles or missile,
Right.
like that, and then he can hold there's like a peg on it that he can hold. I believe is how it works.
Right, because when he flew, he would hold that staff, and the flames would be on either end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can and it looks like his hands are positioned in that way, which is fine.
Yeah.
If you can reenact that pose, then that's brilliant. But as it stands, that is a striking figure. Great colors on it. Looks like the comic and the cartoon. I again am going to give it a solid 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we're going real down Retro Tinker scores today, but so far the design has been flawless. Like they really knew what they were doing. I love this. I love this figure. It's so good. It just perfect proportions. Wasn't crazy big and bulky. It was just a superhero toy, right? Like just
Right.
the opposite of Commando and X-Force.
I like the appropriate, yeah, exactly. But I like the appropriate comic book style muscles on this guy.
Yeah.
Without it being over the top and out of proportion. I like it.
Yeah. This guy could stand right alongside your superpowers figures and blend in. And to me, that's the gold standard, right?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So we got 3 10s coming here. Let's see if we can let's get something that maybe isn't a 10, but we'll try. Oh, Gorgon here. So
Sure. I mean,
he's one of the Inhumans, and he
Yes.
comes with a reissued bishop gun as for his weapon there, and
Okay.
and some kind of big claw thing. But you took those and you just threw them away anyways because he didn't have weapons. And he had a thing on his back where you pushed it and his feet would stomp. He had like spring-loaded feet
Okay.
to do the stomp thing. The cartoon was my introduction to the Inhumans. And they
Right.
did like a 5-part series. Remember that? It was like 5 episodes
Yeah.
together doing the Inhuman saga. So it felt special. It felt big. And
Right. Yes.
the this figure, voiced by Michael Dorn in the cartoon.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, like a raccoon, was the first Inhuman we met in the Fantastic Four cartoon, right? He was looking for the Queen or the Johnny Storm's girlfriend there, who had run away, and he's stomping around. And so I was like, who is this character? And it was great. And I remember seeing this on the peg in the store and thinking, I'm giving away all my figures because we're moving. How do I ask for this?
Yeah.
Because I just thought it was great.
I think so. The Fantastic Four has such a rich history of characters that it is an absolute shame that hasn't caught on quite like it should. Like the Fantastic Four could have had years and years and years of epic movies already with the amount of backstories and characters that they have to pull from. I wouldn't say necessarily that Gorgon is my favorite of the Inhumans, but I think that he's fairly represented here, whether he's got the reuse of the guns or not. I mean, he's got a pretty cool grimace on him, and he looks like the dude. So, what are we going to fault him on if, he's a little bit goofy, but that's just the guy.
Yeah. Lilith just saying, before going to Spider-Man, can we clue them in on the the She-Hulk Fantastic Four version? There was a Fantastic Four version of the She-Hulk figure that came out, but it wasn't in this wave. And I don't even know if it was in the Fantastic Four line or if it was in the Hall of Fame. If it was one of those Hall of Fame repaints.
I know that they offered it in the Toy magazine. What was that? Toy Fair magazine? They offered a She-Hulk.
Toy Fair magazine mail away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just a repaint of the She-Hulk from the Hulk line.
Right. Yeah. But Gorgon, I gotta know, what are we going to give it? It's definitely not.
I give it a 9 because his legs didn't work normally unless they were stomping. Like his stomp gimmick kind of unhinged on the leg movement a little bit. And I'm a big proponent of I want my action figure just to be a basic figure and give me wild accessories. So he loses a point for that. But other than that, like I think he's 9 out of 10.
Yeah, he's not my favorite of the Inhumans, but I'm only docking him a point because they've given him reused guns, and I feel like at this point there's no real reason for him to be going around with Bishop's gun. I honestly don't recall him going around with any gun, so maybe I'm not the best person to be commenting on his weapons of choice. But I cannot, for the life of me, think of an instance where he's running around toting guns. I know I've seen him kick stuff.
Yeah, stomping and kicking like the Flash.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like, I know he's done that. So it's I'm not phased with his gimmick. I feel like that is an appropriate gimmick for him because that's how I would picture him, and that's probably what I would want him to do if he had to have an action feature. I'm just docking him a point for his weapon choices. Sorry, Gorgon.
That's okay. A 9 out of 10 ain't nothing to sneeze at.
No, great beard though. He's got a Gofigure beard.
It's not gray enough yet.
Right. Well,
I went to Joe
this is the 90s.
for the first time 3 years ago, and met my best buddy Zazel in person for the first time. And then I went 2 years ago, and somebody I met the first time said to me, "Wow, you've aged in a year. Look at all that gray." And I said, "It's great to see you too."
Gorgonzola, I'm not a cheese guy. I can do without cheese. On pizza's good.
Have you heard your jokes you make during the show?
Have because they're cheesy?
Yeah, we're pretty cheesy.
I'm a cheese guy.
Cheese guy.
It's Gorgon. That's right, it's Gorgon. That's just like my opinion, man.
It's okay, brother. Well, let's move on here, and we've got the first Fantastic Four member, and we didn't get a Johnny Storm in the first wave. We got Thing and Reed, and so we get this Johnny Storm who has that flipping launcher that Sue Storm has had and Cannonball has had. Now it's been
flipping launcher.
So it's been retooled, so there's no X symbol on it.
Right.
So it just launches them into the air. And he glows in the dark. So you charge him up in a light, and all those flames on him, they glow. So you get a kind of a basic figure that you can throw or flip with this launcher.
Well, he was a repaint though. We got to dock him on the repaintness.
I was gonna say he may look familiar because he's just a Silver Surfer. Right? He's got a surfing pose, which. Again, is a little bit at this point in the game. Do we need to be making repaints that are this obvious?
So, no. And the thing is, it's so easy to do, right? That I would have preferred that they just not give, if they were going to repaint him, I would have just preferred that the Silver Surfer didn't have that hand.
Right.
Like, don't give it to the Silver Surfer if you're going to make him a Human Torch. Because it's not like the Silver Surfer's known for exactly hanging 10 exactly like a surfer does.
Gnarly.
So it's gnarly, man. That's why they call him Gnar and Rad.
Gnar and Rad, bro. Gnarly Rad.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, dude. So I guess these two can hang 10 together, or they can play, put your hand in and then, stack the hands.
They're good at getting pumped up before a mission. Hands in,
they can
go.
Yeah, or high five.
Yeah, they could all work at Walmart in the morning meeting.
Or they could also be DJs.
Oh, Reed. All their songs are about Reed Richards. Yeah, so
anyway,
we get the Human Torch. You're gonna find out in a second why I'm gonna give it such a low mark. His accessory is a reissue. The figure is a reissue. The glow in the dark features all right, but it doesn't represent what fire would look like in the dark. It would be like a bright shining on just little things on him. So, like, to me, and I'll say this, just because he's a generic silhouette, Johnny Storm's silhouette is much different than that of the Silver Surfer. Silver
Oh,
Surfer.
absolutely. You could tell the difference between the two of them. Absolutely.
Here, he's got a more like noble look to his face. He's not smiling. Johnny Storm's always smiling. So I give this a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10.
This is the most unnecessary figure of this line, and possibly of the whole line, not just the series, but possibly as a whole. But it boggles my mind that this even exists in Series 2, considering what we got coming down in today's episode. That's how unnecessary it is.
Yeah.
So it's obviously a cheap repaint, which I feel this early in the game is unnecessary. Now we will see some repaints that are necessary in today's episode, if I recall correctly.
You are
this
very
one.
Correct. I was just going to grab something here, but you are very correct.
Sure.
Very necessary repaint coming up.
So if this was our only representation of the Human Torch, I would be disappointed. Right. But it would be like, it's not the worst, right? It's not the worst thing in the world. I'd be disappointed, but it's not the worst. But the launcher, it is what it is, right? Like, and the reason why the Human Torch doesn't have a gimmick is because the Silver Surfer didn't have a gimmick. Right. So, I mean, what are you gonna give him if not a launching pad now? And they've tried to put flames on it. I would have preferred something that he could have attached to make it look like he was flying. Something like they did with the first Marvel Legends, where you could sort of clip it around and make it look like it was flying. Mm-hmm. So a 5 is fine, and I will give it a 5 too. But if it wasn't for the glow in the dark, because I love glow in the dark. Don't get I love it.
He gets points for glowing in the dark.
It gets points for glow in the dark. It would have been less than 5 if it weren't for the fact that he had some glow in the dark there. So he gets a 5, but he's on the edge.
And the reason he's on the edge is because, he's a Human Torch figure, and you need to have a Human Torch figure. And I remember when this cartoon came out, and I was like, oh, there's going to be action figures. How are they going to do the Human Torch? He's like, is he going to be on fire all the time? What it's going to be? But this would be on a peg in a store.
Yeah.
And then beside it, in the same line, was this Human Torch with the same launcher. Yeah. But with a better sculpt. Yeah. And the flames on this one actually were like 3D, like they weren't just painted on, they were like molded on. Yep. And he had a string in the back where you'd pull it and it would be real fire in his chest.
Yeah, sparks up. Yeah. I do think. Oh, nice.
And so, if you want to just solo me for a second, I'm going to show a couple cool things
buddy.
about this guy. So you can see he's got like the sculpted lines, like he's not just a flat figure. The string you pull on his back has got a molded flame. So even that, a little extra, and then it's still, you can see him all fired up inside there.
Woo! There he goes. He's sparking. He's sparking.
As a toy of the Human Torch, that's the coolest thing in the world.
That's way better than the sparks that bloody Magneto did. What was that all about?
Yeah, but it was like almost like a bomb was going off. Like, you did that in the dark. It's incredible.
Yes. Turn the lights off. Do it again.
Okay. 1 second.
Sorry, man. We need to see it in its glory.
Oh, here we go.
Don't knock anything over.
Don't stepping on a cat and whatnot. This is the horror element. All right. I'm gonna go back.
Flame on! Oh yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's so good.
We're getting spooky. So yeah, look, I think that he is close to being too buff for Johnny Storm. Like, they're pushing it.
Dark feature to fit inside.
Yeah, sure, and that's why I'll give it an allowance. I do like that he has the sculpted on flames and the lines. The lines make Johnny Storm for me. And he has a suitable looking face, a little bit playful, a little bit serious, not too much on either end. Yeah. But The launcher, you don't need it, but it's there, fine.
I would
And
be happier if it wasn't there.
Yeah, it's I guess the only, like I said, the only thing I think that would improve it, if they had to have anything with it, would be like something for him to be propped up on and make him look like he's like blasting up.
And now I'll say this: the next Johnny Storm figure we get, I think, is the most beautiful figure in the whole line, like in the next wave.
Okay, all right. Well, on this one though, what are you going to give it out of 10?
Oh, 10 out of 10, 100%.
Yeah. It's
Johnny
10 out of 10.
with real fire action? Come on.
And the fact that they made the pull string tab a flame, they didn't have to do that, but they did that, and that adds to it too. So it's definitely a 10 out of 10. Way cooler than the previous one.
But it
boggles
my mind. It's a mind trip that because of restock issues, and if you weren't in the toy aisles, we sound like we're going to Nam here. In 93 to 95, you didn't understand the presence that Marvel figures had. And it wasn't like a once it's gone, it's gone. They would be reissuing figures all the time from old lines. So you could say to your mom for Christmas, I really want a Human Torch figure. And she would go to the toy aisle.
Ooh, mess it up.
These 3 Human Torches available at the same time. And
what's that one on the left?
That was the gray carded Marvel Superheroes one.
Really?
Yeah. Remember he threw the fireballs like the Green Goblin?
Oh, yep. Yes. I had completely forgotten about him. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, he's now coming looking at these guys. He's not great. Okay, now if you had to choose between the Silver Surfer repaint and the one with the flinging goblin action, which one would you go?
I'd go flinging goblin action just because he's a little slenderer, and I think Johnny. And look at those 3 sculpted on flames; they're brilliant.
Yeah, they are and you're going to have a different silhouette to the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, no. So I think the Silver Surfer Johnny Storm is maybe the worst figure we've seen in any of the Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Fantastic Four figures. Yeah,
it's just, and it is so like they wasted a spot.
They wasted
a spot. I would have preferred they just put Silver Surfer back in wave 2.
100%, and make them like not chrome. Like they could have done something. They could have done so much with with that, or like maybe even like remember that in a couple episodes where he would like lose the silver and turn to Norrin Rad for a moment.
Yeah.
Give him like a half Norrin Rad, half Silver Surfer paint job.
Which you could do because he was a bald man, so you could have made him losing his powers. They could have done that.
Or just don't put this figure in. The line
is
no worse without having taking this figure out. You still get a Human Torch. You would never it's bewildering to me that both these figures were on pegs at the same time.
Yeah, I don't get it. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. And then we'll
Let's
move
get
on
it going.
Johnny Storm to the Invisible Woman. Translucent Invisible Woman.
I tried to find the photo that Mum took of me on Christmas. I've shown it was the same day that I got the Guns N' Roses albums. I may have shown you that photo once upon a time where I'm holding up the Guns N' Roses. It was that same Christmas, and I open up this exact Fantastic Four clear Invisible Woman, and I was pumped for this because at the time the ones that were clear were harder to find.
Yep.
So it was all over things like Toy Fair and all over the all the other toy magazines. I'm trying to remember the name of the other ones now. There was Toy Fair. Wizard was part of the Toy Fair. We had Hero magazine.
Yep.
So a few of them. Anyway, so which one?
The Action Figure Insider.
Action Figure Insider. Thank you. So. And I used to have to get those specially ordered in at my newsagents to make sure I didn't miss out on those. So I was pumped to get this because it was advertised, even them, by saying this is the rarer one to find, the clear one to find. And when you have an invisible woman, you want her to be invisible.
And other than Iceman, were there many at all translucent figures at this point in time?
At this point, no. I think we've got 2 Icemen, 3 technically. I don't think so. None are jumping out at me right now.
I remember the clear translucent figure being so special and unique when they were coming out, when she came out.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like she's you can see through her. It's great. So she comes on a little base that kind of moves around, and she has a little force field as a little shield like Captain America would have.
Perfect.
And so those are fine, but you don't even need them, right? Like if she was just a figure, it would have been just as cool.
Sure.
A great addition to have. I do have her in the collection over there, but I don't want to knock things over and test my luck. I already got Johnny Storm out.
Fair enough.
It's just a great looking figure, and I would say because it's just a translucent sculpt, you don't get the maybe downside of the painted on features not being perfect.
John Cena. Now, and that's another point I want to make, is that this one, while it's, for me, better because it's utilizing their powers, traditionally, Sue Storm has not gotten a very good paint job. And the original Marvel one with the short hair didn't look great, I'm sorry to say.
Didn't look great.
And this one also did not look great. So without paint, she was a better figure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go as far as to say that this is a 11 out of 10.
Okay.
Now, now without the accessories, you don't need it. You don't need the accessories. However, these aren't outside of the scope of what she could use with her powers.
Right.
So, they take them or leave them. Either way, they work. Even the bubble that she's in on the card, you could use as a force field. Like it's just 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10. I agree with you 100%. It's great. Now, Nate's saying, would this be a fairly brittle figure these days? I don't think this figure got brittle. I think it was almost rubbery. If I remember,
it was a rubbery plastic. Yeah,
it was more of a bendy plastic. So no, they didn't get brittle. Some translucent figures got yellow and brittle. This one did not. Iceman did, but this one didn't. So yeah, this was great, and 11 out of 10. Like it's the best. It's the best figure in the wave, and just seeing the translucent figure with that great card back coming through, it was iconic to see it on the peg.
Yep.
And next to it, what is this one?
Oof.
Yeah, better than the Marvel Superheroes one.
But only just.
only just. And when it's next to this one,
yeah.
But what's interesting, they're different sculpts.
Are they really?
Look at the legs on this one. And look at
the hands are different.
And the hands are. It's they didn't just make a translucent figure. They did a whole.
As Phil would say, I did not know that.
So they gave the same character a new sculpt, but reused Silver Surfer to get a second Johnny Storm that looked identical.
What is going on?
If they
that makes no sense.
If they just made this and this the same sculpt, not one person would complain. It would totally be understandable. You're like, that makes sense. You can buy both of them, and if you're playing, you can swap them in and out. There's no disadvantage to using the same sculpt. And yet they reused the Silver Surfer sculpt. They give us 2 Johnny Storms.
Was this either previously used or later used as a different character?
It was later used as, I think this was She-Hulk.
This may have been the... Okay.
But this was the first time it was used because the first Sue Storm sculpt was short hair and was different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, I don't know. That blows my
Clearly a
mind.
different sculpt.
I would have lost money on a bet if that was is it a repaint of the clear one?
Yeah,
That's legitimately blown
that's
my mind.
crazy. As someone saying MC Hammer sang the Turtles theme song.
Who would say something as silly as that, Adam?
Like, that guy had to be handsome but foolish.
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly.
Well, that actually makes it this easier now to put a number on,
Right.
because had it been the other one, I would have been maybe a little bit more kinder to it, which was an 11 out of 10. But now looking at it, the hands don't make any sense for the character. The face paint is atrocious. I really liked the 90s Sue Storm outfit, which is not, but I really like that outfit. This one, the body is painted okay. The hands are a little bit weird,
Yeah.
but the face blows it away. Negatively speaking, is just blah. So I think I'm just gonna go on the line and say I'm gonna give it a 5.
Yeah.
Like it's still Sue Storm, and it's still not the worst we've ever seen, but it's not wowing me.
No. And on a shelf next to the other Fantastic Four, she completes the set and looks great. But yeah, not a great figure. So I'm giving her the Johnny Surfer 5 out of 10.
Yeah, she looks like she's given hugs, but nobody wants them.
Yeah.
Did you guys have the Action Hour Saturday or Sunday morning?
I had it Saturday morning.
Right. I can't remember. If I had to make a guess, I would say we had it in Saturday mornings, but I don't know. I can't remember.
Sunday morning cartoons were on TBS, and it was like Captain Planet, SWAT Cats, and Super Secret Squirrel. That lineup,
right,
of cartoons. But yeah, so we have a lackluster Sue here, and again, if this was the only Sue we got, it would score higher. But when you get next to this, right, tough. It's tough to love this. What is not tough to love is when you got a big figure on a regular card back in the 90s. When you got a big baddie that all your figures could go up against.
More man. Thanos.
Look at it. Like just unbelievable.
What does he come with there?
He comes with a little whip kind of action because his
typical Thanos, always bringing his whip.
His play feature was that he had these power punches with both of his arms called gauntlet smashes, and so you could just take that and throw it away and never ever look for it again.
Yep, that is a great Thanos. Agreed. This is appropriately bulky. And we've talked about that before. Like, bulk up a guy that deserves it, and Thanos deserves it. You can see why they chose this guy to be the big bad of the Avengers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
But such a perfect representation of the cartoon and the comic at that time.
Yeah.
Looks so good. So good.
And again, someone who could punch a thing in the face and really make him feel it, right? Like, it's just a great figure, a great character, and just if this is the only bad guy you have, you could still have battles for days.
Correct. Yes, and that's a good thing about Thanos too, particularly when if you want to play out the Infinity Crusade or the Infinity Gauntlet or what was the other one, the Infinity War, any of those Infinity Sagas. Thanos was always at the forefront of that, so he's really a bad guy for all characters.
So I just want to address one comment here. Ronnie Trickshot says, "I look like that with my shirt off." I'm not a doctor, but if you're blue with an orange stripe down the front of you with your shirt off, go to the hospital now. You're not well.
Well, I believe that he probably does have an orange strip, but we won't say any more.
Yeah. Exactly. But no, this is to me, this is a 10 out of 10, and one of those villains that just brings the line together, right? Like just, and the other thing is, if you were in that age where you had superpowers and these figures, you could team up with Darkseid and do like a crossover event where these two guys are just taking over the world.
Yeah. This is a game changer figure. This is one where if you only had this bad guy in your collection of heroes, they would still have a challenge.
Yep. No, a pillar of the line, and I think so. Aside from two fives, I'm going to give this guy. This guy's a 10 out of 10 for me. We've got 2 5s in the line, but the 5s, you could remove them both, and the line has all the same characters, and it would have been perfect.
Yes, agreed.
I'm arguing you could have taken out one of the Johnny Storms and one of the Sue Storms, and put a Reed and Thing in there, and had all 4 in the line. When they would release sorry, say what you.
I'm going to give you a hot take.
Yeah.
This line would still be an A+ line if none of the Fantastic Four were in it.
Sure, absolutely.
If you had a full wave and neither of the Fantastic Four were part of it, you would still have some great characters. And yeah, I think Thanos deserves more than a 10 out of 10 too. I'm going to give him a 20 out of 10 because this the only thing that would make it better is if it came with the Thanos copter. But like I said, this guy could go up against anyone. He could go up against the X-Men, and he has. He could go up against your Hulk figures. He could go up against the Fantastic Four, which is what his intention is here. Yeah. He could go up against your Avengers. This guy, he's not underscaled. He's not overscaled. He's perfect. And for that, I have to give the Titan a 20 out of 10.
Yeah.
No. And I don't know if we've done that yet. I think, maybe we have. But I think we gave Wolverine maybe a 20 out of 10.
Yeah, what a solid line. What a solid line of action figure this Wave 2 was. Wave 1 had a couple misses with like Mole Man. It was out of scale and things like that. But this wave, again, we had a couple duds with Johnny and Sue, but we didn't need them. So I'm not taking away from the whole line.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm gonna say like almost a perfect line of figures that we're saying with 2025 eyes. In 1995, I was just gobsmacked by these were in the store.
Yeah, and I remember I was thinking about it today when I was looking for these action figure lines, not just the Fantastic Four, but all of them. Is that I was looking in just retail toy stores, big box supermarkets, grocery stores, and they were everywhere, and the pegs were filled. These, we weren't scrambling at this point. Everyone was just go to your local and pick one up.
Yeah,
they were abundant and they were affordable.
I say that the difference between me buying toys as a kid and my kids buying toys as a kid and when they were younger, when I went to the toy store, it was like, what decision am I going to make about who am I going to get?
Right.
And they're going to the toy store saying, is there going to be somebody there I can get?
Yeah. Who will be there that I would bother with? Yeah. Right. And we know, because we were trying to find bloody April O'Neil.
We know
how tricky it is to find a character you want to find.
I looked through all. I went through how many states did we look in? We looked in at least 5 states for a Superpowers movie Superman, and none were there. And I was like, "Come on, boys, we can do better than that."
Yeah.
So, all right. So moving on from the Fantastic Four to Spider-Man. Now, in the first Spider-Man wave, a little refresh. I was not kind. The villains were all on point, but the 2 Spider-Man figures were just brutal. Like it was your flagship character in this new wave, new toy line, and it was brutal. So the question today is going to be: is the Spider-Man worth buying? Is it better than the Suction Cup Spider-Man? So we'll get there. We'll see how that goes. But we're going to start by looking at the Spider Alien. Now, I don't remember this from the TV show. I don't recall. There's definitely some H.R. Geiger influences here, where I think they're borrowing from, the Ridley Scott Alien movie. That all
Well,
being
big
said,
surprise.
it's a cool baddie to fight. It's an
Sure.
interesting character to put in here, but it would have been one I would have left on the shelf because I don't know where to place it. I don't recognize it from anything.
Yeah, I have no recollection of this character at all. Not just in the cartoon, but I don't remember the toy either. And I was very big on the Spider-Man line. So, yeah, I don't know. Is this a Smythe creation, or is this literally from outer space? I don't know. There's never going to be a way to know. We'll never know. Impossible to know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. This would look great with, can you believe it?
Oof.
The Alien line of aliens, which I will say you've got in your, was it your evening, my morning? A new Kenner.
There's a
Go ahead.
new video premiering in about 10 hours, 12 hours from now. Right here, or not here where I am, but on the Go Figure channel, we've got a Kenner Aliens video coming. And I'm going to say, if you dig the vibe of my channel, which is just essentially me playing with toys,
I give it a nice 10 out of 10.
Yeah, this video coming up is the most fun I've had in a long time. And I think the most you're just going to see me just playing with toys on the internet.
That's all I want. Now, sometimes you will bless me with a few sneaky peekies. And this time you got to give me a few of those, and I got to say I am really excited, and I'm glad that this figure's popped up. Whoever this character is,
for
as a segue.
Yeah, well, there's sometimes when I do my 3D modeling where I'll get so deep into a model where I'll pull out and I'm like, is this even recognizable? Did I do a great job or a terrible job? And I'll just send you a screenshot of a 3D model, be like, hey, do you know what this is? Can you recognize this? And you've never let me down. You've always known.
Yeah. I feel like as it's not a sort of sense of pressure or anything, but I'm like, I will think it and I go, oh man, I hope I'm right, because I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just glad that I've had a successful run of being able to pick exactly what it is. I cannot pick exactly what this is. It's not a bad-looking alien. Kind of an unusual choice for Spider-Man without knowing the context.
Yeah, especially being like Spider-Man is known as being like a street-level hero, right? Like that's his deal.
Yeah. I mean, I can see Venom going up against this alien, but because I don't know the context to it, the sculpting is not bad. It looks okay. The color is a little bit whatever, but all I can do is give it a 5 because I don't hate it, but I also don't really love it. So
again, this
it's a respectable 5.
Yeah, it's a respectable 5, and this just belongs in a different toy line. I think. Like I don't know. There's nothing that would have made me today or in 95 pick this one, right? When we talked about which one am I going to pick, there's too many options in this line to pick this guy.
Can I also say, here's a really cool comment from Lilith.
Oh, thanks.
Big fan of your 3D stuff. Same. Can I say, and I don't want to skip over it, the card art here, while Spider-Man is prominent on the top of the card, we're getting some individual art again, which is great to see.
Yeah.
It's not as prominent as it has been previously, but it's better than just a blanket character. And you could have just had Spidey at the top and the rest of it, whatever. But I like that they've at least given it a personalized touch. So, still a 5. If I had more of a connection to it, maybe I'd give it more. I don't think it's sculpted bad. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on this guy.
Yeah, I have no desire to play with him with my Spider-Man stories. However, look at this.
Okay, here we go. Big guy. Takes up most of the card.
Takes up most of the card. He's got a jewel on his little, Biggie Smalls cane there.
Yeah.
And his action feature, so his wrists actually articulate.
Okay.
You'd put his hands over his head, and then it would click into place, and then you'd push a button, and he would like body slam people.
Oh, nice.
Like just throw fools across the room.
How great was Kingpin in the cartoon? Like, he was great in the comics, but he was a great villain for Spidey in the cartoon.
Yeah. And this is a perfect representation of that cartoon Kingpin. Just huge and massive and just but regal, right? Like he's just always wearing his suits. And so yeah, this to me is an easy 10 out of 10. Yeah,
absolutely. 10 out of 10 for me too. And I think that it really blends that that you would believe that this guy could take on Spider-Man, but you could understand why people would just put him under as just some big fat guy. Right? It really does toe that line as like, oh, he's just a big fat guy. But I could kind of see it where he would be able to tussle with people like Daredevil and Spidey. So, yeah, I get it. I get it.
And I will say this, because this is 95. Other than Clark Kent, who's a mail away.
Yeah.
I think this is... And maybe Professor X in the wheelchair. This is maybe the third guy in a suit as I would want to buy as a child.
True. Yeah. So I mean, if we're just talking Marvel, because obviously DC had some Lex Luthor and some Bob the Goons.
Yeah. I guess the Joker was in a suit too. I guess that kind of counts. But the Joker's he's a clown, right? So he's in a suit, but this is just just looks like a guy in a suit. Now, granted, a massive guy who probably has a budding rap career, but it's there's no hesitation, and this is a must-have figure.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
Spider Alien was like, I don't get it. This is if I don't have this guy, whether I'm a completionist or not, my collection isn't complete.
And like Thanos with the heavy hitters, and I'm not saying Spidey's not necessarily a heavy hitter, but the Kingpin fits that street level all-rounder, right? So Punisher, Daredevil, Spider-Man, all those sort of street level guys that are getting action figures. This guy, if you only had Kingpin, you would be all right. You'd be okay. I don't think quite as much as Thanos, but I think that he does fill that space nicely. If you only
for a different level of hero, for sure.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So 10 out of 10s all around for this guy.
I agree. Yep.
Okay. Well, if you gave him a 10 out of 10, hold on to your socks, baby.
Go.
Kraven the Hunter.
Ooh.
Now, I read one comic with Kraven the Hunter in it before I saw the animated show. And so this was really my first big introduction into the character. And I loved him. I thought he was so cool. He was a great foil for Spider-Man. They were like evenly matched. It was great fights. I thought he had a cool look. I like the lion mane on top of him. I thought was great.
Yes.
This is to me. And this one has spear toss in action. And so you would throw a spear with a spring-loaded arm. So a great play feature, a great accessory that wasn't over bulky and nuts. Didn't interfere with the playability of the toy too much. I love this figure.
It kind of has a Gambit sort of stance about him, don't you think?
Yep.
Did you see the Kraven movie?
I didn't, because I really like Kraven.
Yeah. So yeah, good point. I watched it on the plane on the way back from Japan, and I will never watch it again. One movie that I also won't even bother touching is that Madam Web movie. I'm not even going to go near that.
No.
So Kraven, for me, I had seen more Kraven in a What If comic than I had in an actual comic. I think that he was gone by the time I was collecting, and I hadn't quite picked up enough back issues to really understand who the character was. So other than the What If comic, the cartoon and the action figure was my first introduction to the character as well. And like you've already touched, I couldn't have said it any better than you. He really is a great match for Peter as Spider-Man, because he does have that sort of the agility that keeps Spider-Man on his toes, and like he was on a mission for Spider-Man, right? He was hunting him, and that's why he's the hunter. Yeah, he does look like he would be a fan of both those things, and rightfully so. I mean, just not overly buff. Again, perfect fit with the previous figures before they started to. X-Men went out of control, but this was the kind of aesthetic that we were. This was probably the perfect style. It gave it a bit more. I mean, obviously the superhero stuff that previously was all A+ stuff. We love it, but when it started to get a little bit more towards the comic cartoon sort of style, I think this is where they really hit their peak. It's just such a shame that they teetered over the edge, starting with the X-Men and stuff, by making them just too muscular. This guy is appropriate. He looks great. He's got the spikes. He's got the lion vest. An action that is like, how far would he be able to throw that spear? Who knows? Yeah, look, I understand absolutely. There's definitely value for money with the Kingpin, but I believe that this guy in this form could go toe to toe with Spider-Man. And as far as I'm aware, this iteration doesn't have any real superpowers. He's just like really good.
yeah, it's just tough guy stuff. I just want to address the little comment where it says nothing beats when you watch an Adam repair video when you're having some tests done. Just pause the tests and call all the staff and other people around to come watch with you. Have a little watch party. It's 20 minutes of the day, and then tell them to go back to work and just have a little.
Send them back to work.
Yeah, it'll be great. They'll love it.
But we are glad that you're back in the chats.
Yeah, we really missed you. I mean, we're pulling for you.
Yeah, we're pulling for you. Well, yeah, at least it's all natural.
Yeah, exactly, and not related to Jared Leto in any way.
Ooh.
Yeah. So 10 out of 10 for me.
Yep, I agree.
Have a figure that is appropriately sculpted, powered, that can go toe to toe to Spider-Man and have an epic battle all day. 10 out of 10. So
I mean, if I was gonna do anything, I might, and this is a nitpick, is that I might bulk up the mane a little bit more around on the sides, but that's just a nitpick.
If I was going to do one thing, and this is a nitpick as well, I would have made the vest soft rubber that you could take on and off.
Sure. Yep. That too. Yep. I agree. Yeah.
Other than that, but if you
Great
did that
figure.
now, 30 years later, we would just see naked man in black pants and toy bins everywhere, and be like, "Oh, that's a Craven," but he's in his vest.
True. And they would have just reused it for so many other things. So another Johnny Storm.
Yeah. Why don't they just repaint Johnny Storm and give him a vest? Okay, so that's again 10 out of 10. But then we move on, and if you think that was a 10 out of 10, we're not slowing down.
Okay, all right. Oh, what a beast of a figure that is! Sorry, that's not beast. That's the Lizard.
Look at this.
Wee.
Look at this figure. And he's got a detachable tail, so his tail can be big and be able to fit in the book. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason, how you doing, buddy?
Nice to see you. Now he's got the vinyl coat like Gambit had, but they gave him a coat, man.
Yeah.
Like they gave him a coat, and they gave him like slashing action, and he looks just like he popped right out of the comic book page. And the cartoon, because the cartoon was so faithful to the comic book. But like the frayed edges of the coat, the basic look, like this is a perfect Lizard figure.
This is my favorite style for the Lizard too. Like I know that they've sort of leaned like really into dinosaur mode with the Lizard on a few occurrences, but the purple pants, like the Bruce Banner purple pants and Bruce Banner lab coat, but with the black T-shirt because he's edgy, right? This guy is top notch. Probably so far the best representation of a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah,
I think that he's
Well, and
I think it's pretty.
Spider-Man villain that existed before the Spider-Man animated show. So the next figure we're going to look at it takes some liberties with design. And in the first wave, the Dr. Octopus was like new and kind of like Power Ranger-y. Now looked like the show, but wasn't the classic design that we were used to. This looks like Doc Connor from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Like he just looks like the Lizard.
Yeah, they nailed it. And they've given him no... I mean, I guess if you... And this is a nitpick. Like, lashing tail is a cool action. Yep, take it. Nitpick... And it's not even a nitpick, actually. It's just like if they had to sort of situation. If they had to give him an accessory, I would say maybe like some beakers or something that would show that he's had some... I don't know. You know what I mean, right?
So if they had to give him an accessory, and this is a big swing, what I would have done was use the morph gimmick and just given him a Doc Connor's head.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like, I think that would have been the move.
I'm just gonna plug my computer in before it cuts out. I don't know why that's not on.
All right, why don't you just plug in your computer before it cuts out, and I'll run the show here.
Yeah.
There was a variant of this figure that had a red shirt that was very rare and hard to find. And again, I heard about it in the Toybiz magazine or the Toy Wizard World magazines and whatnot. But it was rare. It looked terrible because the black shirt is what you want. So I didn't even bring.
Well, I don't even remember seeing the Lizard with a red shirt.
I didn't even bring a picture of it up because it just taints how good this figure is.
I remember the first appearance of the Lizard. He didn't have teeth, and it was like he was just all gums. So I'm glad that they've gone with the I'm glad that they gone with the teeth look. But he's a big bulky toy without being overly muscular. But he still has a menacing way about him. So, this is another tenner, man. What a great toy.
I will say, in Wave 1 and 2, they have nailed the Spider-Man villains. Like, they've nailed the villains. That it's really Spidey that they to this point, have really dropped the ball on. Now, buckle up, because we're going to be flying high here with the Vulture.
Oh, okay. And this was the look. To be fair, this was the look he had in the comics and the cartoon. Yep, so he had the younger look about him. So
it wasn't the furry collar bald man look that we were used to because of the '60s TV show. So it was a different look. He looks a little bit like a Silverhawk.
A little bit,
but it looks just like the comic or the cartoon that we were watching. He came with a pistol that had a holster, which anytime you're in a holster is like next level. I just did my Lone Ranger video, and having pistols with holsters is a game changer. So this is so cool to me that he came with a little laser pistol you could fit into his side holster there. His wings sprung out. This is everything you want from a Vulture figure. Everything.
Yeah. So like I said, I can't remember exactly how he got young again. He probably absorbed somebody's youth. I can't remember who. Someone in the chat might know. If you're watching this, if you have enjoyed Toybiz, the series, throughout our episodes, and you've never chimed in, make yourself known and drop a comment in the chat, whether we're live or otherwise. Just let us know that you're out there watching. We'd love to hear from you. And anyone that can tell us how the Vulture de-aged, remind us. I was reading the comics at the time, and I can't remember exactly how it happened.
Wasn't it?
I know that there were
a Norman Osborn serum of some sort.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I know that they were trying to make everyone a little bit more edgier, more 90s, and cool, which is why Doc Ock sort of got a bit of an upgrade. The Vulture here got an upgrade. And you really don't want Spider-Man punching old people in the face. You just don't.
That'd be great. Listen, all going down.
But this guy, if you didn't know who this guy was, this guy could be a hero in your adventures.
Oh yeah. This guy looks more like the new Falcon from the Captain America Brave New World. Like he just A good-looking.
That was another movie I watched on the plane, and I don't think I'll ever revisit.
Unbelievable.
But a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
What a great figure.
Now, 10 out of 10s for this guy.
Oh, hang on. Jason's chimed in with the Vulture, and Lilith is saying that they hate us for the amount that the wallet takes a hit. So he thought he stole Spider-Man's youth, and his obsession was because Spider-Man has more vitality and didn't age and expire as much as others. Well, there you go. And you are... that does ring a bell for the cartoon.
Does that ring a bell?
It does ring a bell for the cartoon. Thank you, Jason. You might know Jason from such episodes of the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship where he does the voice for the Fink. There you go. And gave me the music, created the music for the entrance of Sergeant Slaughter in the very first episode of that. And we used to hang out and do karaoke. And used to hang out and watch wrestling. And he's just a super cool dude.
Okay, I'm going to make a bold statement here about our next figure.
Okay.
Up until this point, and for a long time after, I think this was the single greatest alter ego figure made.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Yes.
Peter Parker, no special no action features, just a camera. His action feature was a camera accessory. This is perfection. Like, it's so good.
Yep. They didn't try to gimmick him up by putting a mask over his face or pull apart chest to reveal his Spider-Man underneath. So it's just a street dude. It's just a guy on the street. Peter Parker on the streets. And Spider-Man in the sheets. I don't know. But yeah, Peter Parker. And you don't get enough of these now either. Like, how hard is it to get a Bruce Banner bloody figure? Too bloody hard. And
even the Bruce Waynes we got in the Kenner line were wearing a Batman emblem on their shirt. And you were like, what? That's not, this could just be civilian Peter Parker out and about.
Yep.
Right? Doesn't need.
And civilian Peter Parker has powers still, right?
Yeah. Oh, he can still fight a guy. He just has to do it sneakily.
Yeah. That's right. I was so impressed with this figure. I put him in the thumbnail too. He's just below you. Yeah. You look like you're wearing his jacket right now.
So what I would have done, I didn't have this figure as a kid, but if I would have had a Marvel display, and I would have had this figure, and I might do it because I have a Marvel display now, but I don't have this figure yet. I would have put his camera around Spider-Man's neck.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would have been a cool look. Like, I'm out here flipping around, taking pictures.
Well, I'm trying to remember if the battle damaged one had a camera that you could attach to his belt. Yeah, the battle damaged
one came with a little camera, absolutely.
And a cool backpack, probably one of the best accessories I've ever seen. But we're not there yet. Yeah. But yeah, this is a. You know what? I'm going to give this guy an 11, and not only does he have great articulation that's not over the top, but he's wearing essentially what he wore in the cartoon. Either they gave him the jacket because they could have easily just done the shirt.
Yeah.
So I like that they gave him the jacket. It's a gimmick-free, it's a accessory-appropriate action figure that even in human form, like even the Fantastic Four lines haven't been able to crack that. And the X-Men lines, I mean, how long did it be until we got a Logan figure, right? A street-level Logan figure.
And that figure
and we're in series
was pretty bulky.
Yeah, exactly. But this guy looks great. 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10, I agree. Now, the question
on
everybody's mind since the last time we did an episode with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's been plaguing. We even talked about it at Joe Fest. We're like, oh, yeah, Spider-Man. They did 2 Spider-Man figures. First wave. One was perpetually at a Metallica concert, and one had a perpetual gray spatula attached to his arm.
Yep.
So not great.
Sure.
nostalgic, and people that love Spider-Man are happy to get them, but not the figures we wanted. So the question is, did they do a decent, halfway decent Spider-Man in this wave? And I'll tell you the name. Have you looked ahead and seen what the Spider-Man is?
No.
So I'll describe it for you first before you see it.
Okay.
It's Webbing Parachute Spider-Man is the name of the figure.
Okay. Wait, webbing parachute Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, well that sounds great.
Do you think it's a good Spider-Man? What do you think you're going to give it out of 10 before we see it?
All right, so it's got and just to clarify, I very rarely look ahead,
right,
unless I know that I've collected that line and I know who's in it, right? So for me, I knew that there was going to be, for the thumbnail, I knew that there was Peter Parker in Series 2, so I picked that one. I knew that there was Dragon Man, and a Human Torch. So I knew that those characters were in there. I didn't go deep diving into the Fantastic Four, and I didn't go deep diving into Spider-Man because I wasn't even sure Spider-Man was going to be in today's episode. Right. So, Harry's here.
Hey, Harry.
Hey. Great video that was today for me, possibly yesterday for you, with the Cobra Commander Battle Armor Cobra Commander video. Great video. And it just
video
great dude.
Super duper.
It was super duper. See, that's what I'm saying.
Super duper.
And I'll thank you not to try and drag me down in some sort of negativity with my catchphrases. Thank you very much. I'm starting to lean into it now. I think it's all right. I think Ron Con is going to be super duper.
Yeah, let's get back to our retail journey here.
All right, so Spidey, it's got a parachute. Is he stuck in a parachute pose?
I'm just saying, the figure's described as webbing parachute Spider-Man. What do you think you're going to give it a 10, and what do you think I'm going to give it out of 10?
I will give it an 8 because I think depends how they execute it. I'm a little worried now how you're going to. I think maybe you're going to give it a 1.
Okay. If you combined our scores, you would not yet get. I'm giving it an 11 out of 10. It's a perfect.
Oh, okay. All right.
Spider-Man. It just happens to come with a red parachute.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, the parachute accessory, just throw it in the garbage. It says a webbing Spider-Man parachute, but it's not gray. It's just a red Spider-Man parachute, which is stupid. But the figure has ball joint shoulder articulation, knee joint, elbow joints, a punching hand, and a thwipping hand, and he's just a regular Spider-Man. This Spider-Man is perfect. It's all you need. This should have been the first Spider-Man, and they could have never made another one. This fills all Spider-Man needs.
Oh, dude. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the mask, super duper to the max. This is what I'm talking about with the mask of Spider-Man in this wave. Is they're kind of hit and miss. And I just think that the Spider-Man I got, I may have made the choice to get that one because it had, in my opinion, the best mask. Yeah. This one here, the eyes are a bit off. The webbing is a little bit askew. Are you able to go back? Is it too much for you to go back to my favorite Spidey, or is that going to be too much to go back there? Or
I can do you one better here, bud.
You grab it? So Spider-Man did use a parachute from time to time, mostly because he might have been too high to thwip onto a building just yet, or not be in the vicinity of a building to thwip onto. So it's not outside of his abilities. I know I've seen this action before in the comics. It's a shame they went red when they could have gone grey, but I have a feeling they probably made it grey and then went, it's a bit bleh. See, how cool is that Spidey? Look at him.
Yeah. It's a great Spider-Man head. And
the webs are perfect on it. The head, the eyes, all of it is. Yeah, I reckon that's why I made it.
Light into night.
Take my whipping hands.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so his head, but again, in the animated series, it varied as well, right? Because it's hard to animate a lot of lines.
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, but at least they did, right? I mean, I know those early Spider-Man cartoons, they sort of like put some web on and then left it mostly web-free. And even now, it's hard to get a Spider-Man with consistent webbing painted on.
Right.
So, you know, this guy's holding his whipping hand a little bit rock and roll. But yeah, look, he can obviously move his arms and stuff around. I'm not going to knock it for its mask. I reckon that's probably why I picked the one I did, because it just didn't look as derpy in the face. It is. I will give it a 10 out of 10. I won't go as far as giving it an 11 like you did.
But I give it 11 because finally we get a Spider-Man that, like, it's a reaction to the others. The third time in is when they finally get it right.
Right. I just the head on the one that you've got versus the put on the body of this one would make it a perfect Spidey.
Yeah. So I give this Spider-Man an 11 out of 10 for the same reason that James Gunn's Superman movie is so good. It's because we had Snyder before that, right? We've been waiting for something good to come out. So this Spider-Man, I'm like, oh, finally. Right. Whipping hand, punching hand, great articulation. He's got shoulder ball joints. He's got elbow, and it's just that to me. I'm like, this would be the only Spider-Man I'd need.
I like that it came with pins as well. We haven't really touched on that, but those pins are pretty cool. And you know what? I remember playing G.I. Joes and custom making parachutes and stuff. This would be fun. This is a fun toy.
It's a fun toy, but I'm just like, it's not a.
Yeah, proportions are good.
They could have given the parachute to Peter Parker as like an escape for Parker when he's not flipping around like Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah.
But again, it's a play feature. Kids love parachutes, so it's fun. Mm-hmm. As opposed to this Spider-Man who just falls. No.
You know what? I don't need this kind of that Spider-Man is super duper, and I will not hear anything else about it.
You know what's crazy?
It's fine.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I relentlessly make fun of this Spider-Man because you love it. But also, I own it in my collection, and you don't. Like,
I don't even own it. Yeah, well, yeah, that's right.
A figure that I have. I'm like,
yeah,
like thing I paid money for.
yeah, idiot.
Yeah.
At least mine was hung up on the ceiling with a Halloween decoration webbing around the palm ones that went out. So he was whipping around my room at least.
Yeah.
So whatever. You know what? I'm taking it back, man. I'm taking it back. It's a cool toy, Metallic Spidey. Well, you know what? I think we're going to find one soon enough. Because there are some Spiders coming down the line. Some of my favorite iterations of Spider-Man are also coming down the line too. I'm not sure if it's
my absolute favorite Spider-Man figure is going to be in Wave 3. Absolute favorite Spider-Man figure of all time.
I have a feeling. I don't know if it's the same one, but I have a feeling that the one that is one of my favorites, if not the favorite, is also in the next series, in Wave 3.
It's pretty great.
It might be the same one.
Game changing.
You know what? This is going to be. I won't say who it is, and don't say who it is but I wonder if it's the same one. I don't even know how many Spider-Man characters are in there. There could be only one, and we're talking about the same one. But I have a feeling that it is in the next wave, in Wave 3.
Yeah, but we're not going to get to that. Well, first off, we'll do this. We'll say, look at these striking groups of figures.
Yep.
This was all on the shelf at the same time, man. Like, we were living a life we didn't deserve.
Yeah, look at that.
Right? Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. But we're not going to get to Spider-Man Wave 2 next week. Or next episode. Hopefully it's next week. We're going to be going down. Are you ready for this? We're going to look at Ghost Rider Series 1.
Yes!
And Iron Man Series 2.
Woo! I'm actually super pumped for Ghost Rider. We got to see at Joe Fest this year a collection from it went to Phil, and it was from it didn't go to Phil. Who did it go to?
It's on my wall. It's right there. I bought it from Will.
So you got a collection of Ghost Riders for yourself from Will, who had a great story about working at
KB Toys.
KB Toys. That's right. I knew that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yes, Ghost Rider. Yes.
Oh, people are loving the Ghost Rider talk.
I'm a Danny guy. No shade to Johnny Blaze, but Danny was my guy.
Yeah.
What a great look for Danny.
To answer Lilith, they did do a 2099 Spider-Man in this line. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
They sure did. I had that one too. Other than some of the X-Men characters, I think Spider-Man was the only real representation of 2099 in action figure form. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think
they put out some of the X-Men, but I can't remember them ever doing a Doom or a Punisher.
Nope.
Definitely didn't see Ravage.
Nope. It was not a lot of 2099 figures, but Spider-Man was so marketable that they were able to do that one and sell it.
Yeah. So. Firing up the facts. Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider was one of those magic lines for me where I never ever anticipated that it was going to have its own line. I know that he made some cameos in other cartoons, but I don't recall there ever being a solo Ghost Rider cartoon.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I know that earlier in the episode we both said, "Oh, we're forgiven because it's got glow in the dark. We love glow in the dark stuff." They said we're going to do Ghost Rider, which is kind of this edgy figure, and guess what? All the figures are going to glow in the dark.
Yes. And how cool is Vengeance though? Vengeance is a great toy. So we've got to see. You've got in your collection then Ghost Rider.
I got
Vengeance,
Ghost Rider, Vengeance, Danny transitioning into Ghost Rider, and I got Blackout. So I need Blaze, and there's one that I need to finish that wave. So, but Blaze is the most, like the Johnny Blaze figure.
I was super into the Midnight Suns, all of those sort of monster like Morbius, Werewolf by Night. Blaze had his own comic for a bit. I'm trying to think who else was in there. Maybe Nomad for a bit. I'm trying to remember who else was in there. But yeah, they were cool. And Vengeance, I remember thinking, now this guy looks like a proper real foil for Ghost Rider. And there always kind of was like a counterpart. Like we've talked about Captain America and US Agent. We talk about War Machine, Iron Man. But when you're looking at Ghost Rider and Vengeance, oof, man, those two.
Yeah.
What a combo.
Yeah. Now, did you know in my research for that episode, there was like 1970s Ghost Rider toys where it was just like die-cast bikes that had a molded figure on them.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I'll do a little like, hey, this is because if you look up Ghost Rider, there's only ever been 3 Ghost Rider waves of toys. This one from Toybiz, the one that came out for the movie with Nick Cage, and then these old tin bikes from the 70s.
Oh, cool. Okay, well that sounds cool. All right, I might have to look those up. Now, I'm not sure who was in the Iron Man wave, but I am very familiar with the Ghost Rider wave. So I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to come down in the Iron Man line, as excited as I am for Ghost Rider. I think if Ari is free on that day, that he should come and join us for the Ghost Rider.
100%.
Let us know if you're going to be up and about this early hours for you, Ari. Yeah. That would be cool. Flaming skull not required. This much fire.
I think the 3 of us, you, Ari, and I, should make a new show.
Yeah.
It's called Finding Ari's Stuff, where we go to vintage toy stores and get Ari's stuff and his parents are giving away.
If I'm around, I'm in. What have you got that's better to do than that?
Yeah, are you gonna
Probably
be
a lot. Probably stealth
somewhere?
camping.
Come on, man.
Fair enough. But yeah, the Midnight Suns comics at that time were also glow in the dark covers.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was
That was
so good.
that was a great era of comics. That was like, in the Clone Saga. I know it went on a long time, but I loved that whole era of comics. It was just it made like maybe peak comics for me.
Nothing divided the fans more than that clone era.
Yeah.
It was like not at first. At first it was fine, but then when they were trying to say that was the original Peter Parker, that's when things blew up.
Yeah. You know what solidifies that era of comics for me almost more than anything was I was so into the cards, like collecting the cards, the packages of cards at the time.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you got a lot of your back information stuff. You look at the back and had their power rankings.
Yeah.
And you're just like, all right, this is it was almost like that was your encyclopedia, was buying these cards and doing research that way.
Yeah, there's definitely those flares, the flare cards. They definitely helped me to fill in some of the gaps of who some obscure characters were. They were great for that. Even the cards before the flare era, but those ones were definitely top-notch cards. And comics at this time were even coming with cards as an incentive to buy the comics. Like cards were so popular, they were like free cards inside. Buy a comic. Interesting gimmicks. Yeah. So when are we back? You got a video coming up. I've got
tonight, in a few hours tonight, and then I say in 7 days' time. 1 week from now, we're here doing Ghost Rider and Iron Man. That's what I'm saying.
Let's do it. I'm free weekends. I was working weekends for a while, but I'm back, baby.
I'm expensive on weekends, but it's okay.
Yeah, you're worth it.
Yeah. I enjoy hanging out, man. I miss RonCon and Joe Fest was actually a little bit sad because we got so used to hanging out with each other.
Yeah. It felt like it would never end. And for you, it felt like it would never end.
No. It was sad when you left.
Being stuck in a car with me with my lame jokes.
No, so I'll say this. Your humor took a day to get used to, but once I was in, I was in. For those that have never been with Zazel exclusively for more than like an hour or two on live stream, it's a neat sense of humor he's got, where everything you say, regardless of what it is, he like does an Aussie quip about it. Like I'll be like, "Hey, do you think we should stop and get some gas? Do you think we should do that?" And you'd be like, well, it'd be easier to do that than keep on going and getting gas. Like if we were driving, it'd be harder to put it in the car. And I was like,
well, that's true. You definitely need to stop and do it. Yeah, you can't get gas on the go.
But like everything, I'm going to say the most normal thing that cannot be turned into a joke. And he's like, well, mate, actually. And I was just like, okay, that's what we're going to do. And then I was in on it. I was in on the whole thing. It was great.
Yeah, my jokes are mostly for me. So, if anyone else enjoys them, that's fine. And my wife will back me up on that. No one laughs harder at my jokes than me.
So that's what I call the Norm Macdonald style of humor, right? Whereas I'm going to make myself laugh. If anybody else laughs as well, that's just a bonus.
Yeah. It's super duper when they do. All right, so in that case, Adam, we're going to leave it there. Thanks to everyone in the chat for hanging out. Again, glad to have you about, Lilith. Hey, Josh, you just woke up, did you?
Hey, everybody.
Good to see you, buddy. We're actually just on the way out. But we're coming back next week with Ghost Rider and Iron Man, and then just a few hours' time, you'll see Adam's link is in the description. Do go and check that out one time. Cheers, guys. Don't miss Adam's Kenner, you believe it, an Aliens extravaganza. I was trying to think of what the Ghost Riders movie, they had to get the contract from whatever. Anyway. Anyway, don't miss out Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. All right. Well, Adam's going to send thoughts and prayers, and I'm sending the appropriateness of whatever I do your way too. Hugs and kisses. I don't know, but just seems. But I'm sorry. I feel for you, buddy. Hang in there, my friend.
Yep.
We will be back. Same bat channel. Maybe a little bit more caffeine in us. So hang in there. But we'll end it there. Check out Adam's video premieres in a few short hours. Go do what you got to do and come back. But in the end, it's all just heroic nonsense. Yo, Joe.
Super duper.